All right, number 9 and 10. The directions state, factor each expression completely. So number 9, we have 7s squared minus 7t squared. So the first thing we're going to look for is the greatest common factor, and it jumps out at you there that 7 is the common factor. So if we factor that out there, we should be left with an s squared minus a t squared. Right, so we found that the greatest common factor was equal to 7. And now when we look at it here, we have a difference of squares. And remember, that's when you have like a squared minus b squared. It factors into a plus b times a minus b. So we'll take us here. Still keep that 7. That's important. But we know this will factor into s plus t. And we have an s minus t. And that is completely factored. The problem number 10 that we have here states 4x times the quantity of x squared plus 1 minus a 2y times the quantity of x squared plus 1. So when we look at this here, let's look at the monomial out in front first. We have the 4x and the 2y. What did those have in common? Well, it looks like we're going to have a 2. So our greatest common factor right now that we're looking at is definitely going to have a 2. And then they both have an x squared plus 1. So we're going to say x squared plus 1 there. So as we look to factor it out, let's pull out that greatest common factor first. We have 2 times the quantity of x squared plus 1. And if we were going to distribute that through here, right, what would we have to multiply this by to get the original 4x times the quantity of x squared plus 1? Well, it looks like it's just going to end up being a 2 and an x, right? Because 2x times 2 is 4x. And then we're going to have to look at that second part here, right? We have minus 2y times the quantity of x squared plus 1. Well, let's go ahead and throw that minus in there. And since we have a 2 already in our greatest common factor, it looks like we're going to be left with just a y. And then we'll close that up. And that's actually going to end up being our answer. So we should have 2 times the quantity of x squared plus 1 times, and you can change the brackets back to parentheses if you wish, but it's okay to leave them as brackets as well. If you have questions, make sure you're asking.